Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1.
TDX here for RTD Online down at the Kell Brook press conference here with Kenny Porter. Kenny, how you doing?
I'm great.
Not seen you for a while.
Good. Everything's good.
Back in Sheffield again?
Yeah, a little cold, but other than that, everything's good.
I'm going to say it's a little colder this time since you last came.
Much colder than last time.
You still wanting that jerk chicken again?
Yeah, I think the jerk chicken will warm it up. Absolutely it will. I'm looking forward to it.
I phoned Barry for you. Give him the heads up that you're back in town.
Give them the heads up. What's the name of the restaurant?
Barry's Kitchen.
Barry's Kitchen. Go there. That's the best jerk chicken place to go to here. Yeah.
So last time you was here, last minute call, you had to step in and be in the corner for Lenroy, and he ended up winning the. Obviously after that, he's decided that he can't let you go after that, can he?
No, you know what? We've had a nice camp for this particular fight. We had a fight before this. We had a camp for, and in between that, we've had like a little mini camp. So we've been together quite a few months. He's actually lived in my home. He stayed with me. He spent a lot of time with me, and so he's just really done all the things I've asked him to do to be successful. And you know, since we were last year, we've had a fight. He won. He looked impressive, and we look forward to being impressive on Saturday night.
Well, since his last fight at Bramall Lane, it looks in a lot better shape. What kind of things have you done with him to kind of?
Yeah, definitely in better shape. But the mental aspect of everything we've been trying to get him to take on, that mental part, that's the biggest part with these guys. Dave Allen has alluded to that today. You know, the reason he wasn't maybe in the fittest in his career leading up to this point is because of his mentality. So Lenroy was very serious. He didn't have a choice because he actually came to live in my home.
I'm going to say, is that one of the reasons why you made him come out and live with you, so you could help with that mentality with him?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. When you're actually in the house with me, you got to get up in the morning and, you know, you got to do everything that I do. So he did those things. He worked out twice a day. He rested well at night. Never did the nightlife. That's not allowed. And so he worked really hard, and here we are ready to defend the title.
Okay, so what kind of a different performance do you think we're going to see from Thomas in this fight as opposed to when we seen him last May?
The expectation is that both guys have improved. I can look at Dave and tell physically he's improved, but I can also tell mentally he's much more aware of his career, and he's much more aware of the severity and the sense of urgency that he has to take, you know, this fight with. So I expect both guys to improve, and as I was just saying, I expect them both to raise their levels, and I expect my guy to be at that level that I've pushed him to. When they pushing each other and get to those levels, I expect him to be able to take that on and keep moving and keep raising his levels on fight night and get his hand raised.
That's one of the interesting things for me, because when I got to spend a bit of time with you and your son, obviously I can see you're very respectful people, like to have discipline and a nice regime to your lifestyle, basically. So for me, I'm interested to see how different he performs, because if you stepped in last minute and did that with him, what happens in almost a full year?
Well, yeah, you know, I've often thought the same thing. I thought, you know what, if I was able to pull that out on fight night, you know, what happens if we have a camp? So we've had camps, and you know, I tried to put him in a hotel once, couldn't trust that, so I moved him right back into my house.
He's going back to his Jamaican roots.
Well, he didn't do anything that I didn't feel comfortable with. It was just I didn't feel comfortable with it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens on Saturday night just as much as everybody else, because now we've had about 8 months together, and we spent probably in that last 8 months, we've spent probably, you know, at least we've probably spent 5 of those months together, you know. We also went back home for him to Jamaica, which is first time going home in over 20 years. He hadn't been home. I took him home. I didn't realize he hadn't been home, and he told me, and I said, you haven't been home in 20 years.
That's not good for your soul, is it? Not to go
It
back
was
home.
an amazing trip. We were there for Thanksgiving. Him and I even spent Thanksgiving together. So we spent a lot of time together. We've done birthdays, we've done Thanksgiving, we've spent a lot of time.
So you built a nice relationship over this.
We got an excellent relationship. Actually, after this fight, probably a week after the fight, we go back to Jamaica for his birthday. So we won't wait another 20 years.
Well, I know Thomas touched on it. Could you explain a little bit more why he ended up pulling out of Cardiff when he was meant to be on the AJ undercard?
He never pulled out. He never accepted the fight because Sean was fighting and he was on the same card as Sean. And those fights were within a week.
So they weren't even meant to put the posters out or anything?
It was never even open for consideration. When I received a phone call asking me could we do it, I said no because Sean is fighting and Lenroy will be on the card. If you go back and look at the fight records, you'll see that he fought on Sean's undercard, and that was within a week of this fight that they were having in Cardiff. So it was never even open for consideration.